So, as for what you see, once again, the relationship to this house, whenever there's a weird thing there, in this case, the dog being loose, and narcotics being here, and the intent. Plus, you hear the driver saying, and again, I'm not going to say how much is in this. This phone just filmed the state of the video on this phone, and this phone just uploaded that video to YouTube. So we pinned down the state of the things as they are. Now we're no longer proving what's happening. We're proving what all of them know that is happening. Like the other one is called Foz do Iguacu versus one person. This one you're having a cat pick up water pointed at. This is what all of them are doing. Now they think that perhaps because they bought me a sandwich, that solves all the war crimes. I can imagine anyone using the war crimes for a sandwich joke in the future as to ridicule their assumptions. But for what it's worth, this is all of them have access to as established before. And that's safe. So not only was recorded on this phone, it was recorded on this phone, and this phone has, but it's on this one as well. So any hackings or any attempts to that, to be honest, not that much of a deal since it's in YouTube, to be honest. YouTube functions are the same purpose as better. It's kind of like I was thinking at the time. It's just subconscious nature, right? So we're going to go to the other stop because I want to establish, as I said, it's already a trend. It happened more than once. And we're going to get the bank statement as well because this is even actionable in court, funnily enough. They are still, once again, as a trend, being paid for a service they're not providing. Now, remember back in the days when they thought they could argue some things or another? Yeah, everything is coming in. Also, since they're doing that, I think I'm going to bring up the videos that I made before about my cars not being accepted on the bus and then accepted later. Now, again, this doesn't matter. I couldn't care less where the supervising body stays. They are the ones in the hottest water. The bus company is a private company. They're going to face consequences when the time comes. But the guys supposed to oversee them and paid with public money to oversee them and make sure that those things don't happen are the ones that really on the light. So I'm just going to make them aware, like them or not, I'm going to make them aware of what is happening and make that public as well, through YouTube and on the phone. Sure. That's why we're going there in person. No more. I mean, I'm going to send an email as well. I might even do that now. Right now, we're going to edit the video from YouTube, download the clip version. We already did. We're just going to download that so we have from the 53-minute video of all the crimes of everybody. We have just a part of the bus thing. Put that. And you have the cameras as well. This was 11013, the bus, as I said at the time. You could see the video. I think that the video was tempered, as I mentioned on this phone. You can compare the two, because I did dash against the door for it to open and moved away. I don't know if you can listen to that. That's convenient that they decided to show me that part. I almost say thank you. But in all fairness, I'm not going to lie from you, and I did, because I want to come in. And of all those things, we're going to, as I said, go to the other bus, take it up. Don't think my personality, my personality tells everything you need to know. Don't take my state of mind as of right now as an indication that this is light. Having to haul those things up there just because of something that is their war crime is very important. And as I said before, for them, the emphasis on the guy falling from the bus is relevant, but for this purpose, because it goes a long way, that they would be willing to actually let a person just straight up move with the bus just to commit this crime, that's a wrong thing. Normal people would just skip that or do that another time. It's a huge deal when you go from there. There's a curtain closing over there on that door, on that house. Fortunately, unlike that time, this time I am in the bus stop, so I can wind this into a big one. As for the, and yeah, I mean, fully, I mentioned how much this house, both very hardly things and are involved in this. But that's an opinion. Over there, for instance, to the dog thing, you have an actual objective casual relational casuality, one causing the other, instead of just, coincidence. So, as I said, the other bus is also every 2 hours, but they overlapped. So, theoretically, it should be 90 minutes. Plus, as I said, I'm going to fix my things. Plus, everything that they throw in, I'm going to throw a lot of things in the way. It's going to be in video. That video also going to YouTube immediately. And whenever the charade just collapses, like a house of cards, you have all those things also coming in. So when the hammer falls on that supervisory body, and if they did nothing for this, it's not even just going to be the impact of those 2-3 things. It's going to be the impact of all the harm that those crimes cause onto them. So, again, As a guy who has some experience in seeing the water flowing on top of your head, it's doable. Well, again, depends on the character of the person, I suppose. Either way, so, because again, that's the thing. Like, I'm going to point out those things because as I watch the guy there in the video, I don't want to be called crazy, right? But at the end of the day, and those things exist by themselves, they're not supposed to happen by themselves, right? You're not supposed to pay for a service you're not providing. That's a crime. That's the very definition of what you would expect a crime to be. As a matter of fact, as I said, I think I will make the police report for that incident. Depending on what happens on the inspection, on the supervising body, and what is said to me, I might or not make a police report. It's in video, eyewitness, there's cameras over there. Either way, it is something to report. You also notify the police. Is another organ that's supposed to quote-unquote supervise in a way. You have that being relevant, so that's it. At the end of the day, as I pointed out, we're going to go there. We can walk to this. You're going to see every second of the process. Again, both phones. And just we're going to keep audio on this other one. And you see that. Once again, I will notify them that I paid already, and as I was going to board, the guy just ran away, and can even say I can show you in video. So you have to see the doubling down on the thing, as all of them represent the company. And you say, well, they have no way to know. And I say, well, and he had no business leaving me here to begin with. So you act wrong, other wrong things follow. So, anyways. And over there, we might organize the things, not to mention, as I said, fire any other narcotics, other things in the way. With, by the way, just a casual reminder, all the times when there are good drivers in the line and they don't do things like this and they function. Oh, yeah, by the way, this was done by them at some point. I just noticed now. So you should imagine that one of those days, like either in the mall or here, this was done. Okay. So, again, on them, and all of them can see. Also, apparently this thing here that they think is a huge deal was done on this bag, apart from this bag. So, just like my pants, when they decide to destroy them, you're seeing the thing in advance before the actual thing happens. And you really should check out the bank account and other possible incomes as a fraud. But even if not, I will not say so much them. I mean, the whole corruption shipload. They don't need to tell before how the first world works, right? No, as the guy said in the video today, corruption is wrong. The corruption I'm not a part of. In a way. They would say that they are, as they often do, which is a crime you cannot identify as a police officer, which is not. Again, on the issue of crime is very easy to say. So, that also is everybody. So let's say that other than a astounded look, looking at a person moving, there's a lot of difficulty. Yeah, if something comes of that, boils down the bus company, boils down the guy supposed to be the bus company line. Oh, sorry. They only had one job, right? The definition of they had one job thing. At least there's there. Cannot breathe. So, for those individuals who live right there, so they're very true, okay? I would say, as of right now, there's so much stuff in the air that this climb that I made yesterday with no difficulty at all when I went there to buy the bread, I cannot make without staying on this state. So, you can see they're sprawling exploring ramifications for that. Plus the look. The outrage look on the faces is by far the best evidence for what you get to see through this. Again, the face of someone who's a real victim, just standing right there. I'm resting because of the narcotics still thrown on this place, as with to make it difficult for me to climb up. Just to make me say the quiet part loud. Can only conceive one type of person that would know from those things. Either way, you can go. Because again, if you miss the point, it's very close. Like this is 20, 50 meters at most. The distance. After I paid for the bus ride. Then again, we're gonna go to the bank. We're gonna pick up pinpoint those 2 days, and get that in a statement, film, and put that on YouTube as well. But that's okay though, because they're gonna buy me a sandwich, and they think that that's gonna make it alright. That's the people of Foz go to. Another cherry on top of that cake. Comes another cherry. Oh, there you go. That's the likely objective of the crime. It's indeed done right there. I say to stranding me down. Right there. Foz do Iguacu, for you. That goes to YouTube as of now. We'll publish their other things later. Yeah, I mean, that's not the bus stop. The bus stop's too far away. Have to probably try to makeshift this into something else and try to move. Yeah, crimes of restaurants as the Foz do Iguacu Department of Transportation and the population in general, for what you see, but directly right there, kind of straight up right there. Bus company, as you witnessed, said, the only public transportation company in the entire city. Okay? But then this was meant to be devastating, groundbreaking for me, but to me it's just another crime that is well documented in video. Maybe the last one, the life of one person. And you see the faces in the process. It's okay though, because again, the sandwich. Maybe when you see those chicks who think that you really should be to too pretty to do crimes, keep taking selfies of themselves in front of you, not 2 seconds after I pass, not 2 seconds before I pass, like exactly as I'm there. We do. I guess that they're mocking that, by the way. That's the point of those things. Perhaps you think that they think that something like, a garbage bin or a dumpster is a place to take a picture and to take a selfie next to. But for most part, and you can see that for the most part they show the background, which is quite pointless. But assuming it's not, you imagine it's a mockery of this, which is me documenting the abuses to me. So, by all means, perhaps they are too pretty to the car. But at the end of the day, I wouldn't say so. But at the end of the day, this is now I don't know why in hell they would think that if I'm talking to them, we can bother to speak the language. Funny enough, I do speak, but I'm quite sure they're gonna say that no matter what. Which is a trend for those criminals to do things no matter what. This now is a bit more difficult to move. I'm gonna save and stop this one and start it again in a minute. Save. I was gonna keep this one in audio when I thought it was just moving the things. Now that you see the effect of another crime that I did, where did they do this crime? Like I'm thinking, where did that even happen? It was in the mall? No. So, that's the first one on the faces you see. Flipping over my shoulder. One thing we know for sure, if it was a bigger guy, they'll definitely not be doing that. Also rich, he also heads up. Again, for all the things that we're directly associated with. But relax. As long as I don't get money, I do intend to become rich, and I do intend to become at least bigger than I am. That's good enough to show. And my means to use them as an insect this time. Half evidence was making evidence, or halfway evidence, as it's called this day. But, I don't know. We're starting to go now. What? Out of bounds. Also, you notice that the cut that they made there? Clean cut. Made of a knife. Not like the other ones, you see, which could be my nails pulling up like this, or other things, like this, like a nail. Clean cut. In perfect combination. Because after all, if I had got the bus there, I would have got to the mall, and anything that had happened there, the distance I walked would be the distance into the mall. It would be already in the car, and it would just be a problem. It would show up in the exit. Inside I could close this data and do everything in combination. Part of the same crime, accomplices. Now, we also add up the outrage phase. We think that it is indeed nothing more outrageous than a man carrying something with a lot of difficulty. Those guys seem to think, based on their face. Fortunately, nobody lives. So it's not like that's a huge stickler. And on account of lack of accountability, that would be pretty low. Now, I had to stress out. The things, the insane things you find outrageous are hardly a crime. You might find that indeed being poor is absolutely insult to anyone else, and that is not a crime. Yes. And I find it's funny to seduce people, and to find that it's not a crime. Funny enough, even if a pedestrian, if you like to swing, if you stop, the pedestrian is crossing it, like